In today's video, we're going to talk about the latest news and information going around about DC Studios, the DC Universe helmed by James Gunn and Pete Safran. It's not looking good for DC at the moment. With all the drama they've had over The Flash, that's the least of their concerns at the moment. So, yo, what is freaking good YouTube? Wish you everyone new around here. Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture-based content that we try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know what the freaking hell's going on at DC. It doesn't actually seem any better having a new company with Discovery making Warner Bros. Discovery, and it doesn't actually seem any better so far with the new bosses. Well, specifically James Gunn, to be honest, because Pete Safran, he's very quiet. What is going on over at a major Hollywood studio? And also, if you could, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. See the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuD. Right, let's get into this video. So, DC has the Flash movie coming out this year, and apparently has Shazam 2 coming out very soon, and also Aquaman 2, and also Blue Beetle. But there is drama upon drama upon drama. So, Aquaman 2 is still coming out at the end of this year. It's test screened poorly. Well, let's be honest, I'm not going to cover the full plot leak for Aquaman 2 until it gets leaked, but I've had Aquaman 2 full plot leak for a very long time. And the funny thing I find about these scoopers saying, yeah, I've heard the script was, one of them saying the script was good. I'm thinking, did we read different things? I literally had test screening plot sent to me, and it's not a very good plot. So finally, test screen information is actually being credible and being real. So Aquaman 2 has not been testing that well, to the point where people are walking out of test screeners. So it's not this normal generic saying, oh, Thor Love and Thunder was the greatest movie ever, etc. When it's never the greatest movie ever. Test screenings is just a little metric of the population, of the populace that will enter that test screener to get a general overview for the studio to see if they have to make any touches up. Realistically, test screen information means nothing, but people are saying it's a mediocre movie. And they've got a lot riding on this movie, because when the first movie made over $1 billion, it took that. That's not what it actually made. That's what it turned over. The second movie has to somewhat try and follow that up. So reports have come out of the Twitter sphere that people have walked out, that the movie is a mess. They've changed a massive part of the plot. Allegedly, it's nothing to do with the DC Universe. So that means people were lying about Aquaman 2 being part of the DC Universe phase slate. God, you just don't know you just don't know what to believe on the Twitter sphere anymore, do you? Amber Heard's still in the movie because, like I keep saying, she's got a pinnacle role. She's given birth to Arthur Curry's son. So they're not going to cut her out. She's still in the movie for around 20 minutes or so. So it is funny. One scooper here. Okay, alleged scooper. Wannabe scooper. There's a reason I've been avoiding any questions about Aquaman Lost Kingdom. Why would you avoid? That's so dishonest. So let me get it straight. Big screen leak avoids answering questions because the movie sucks. But since Viewer Anon put it out there, it brings me no joy to back him and tell you that test screening for this film have been not very good. I really hope one fixes this movie before it comes out in December. It comes out at the end of the year. Sure, they can fix the problems, but the problem is the plot sucks. And even with Momoa's execution, I think he's a somewhat decent actor. I don't think this movie can be saved. And they're not going to come out and say, yo, he's going to be Lobo, because that will literally give no one any reason to watch this. I heard that something almost never happened in a test screen that happened with this movie. They're really going to need to fix this one. Yeah, with reshoots, potentially. They've already done reshoots. They've done multiple reshoots for this movie. They've test screened this movie like 7 or 8 times. They had Keaton in it at one point. They have Batfleck in it at another point. Are they actually going to release this movie? They should maybe just shelf it and tax write it off potentially, because it's a very bad movie from the plot alone. This isn't a case where I can read a plot leak, get told what happened at test screen, but like, yeah, with execution, this could be good. Nah, this plot just sucks, to be honest. So also in the news, now this is an interesting one. So Henry Cavill, the old Henry Cavill line. So James Gunn was hired over 6 months ago to write Superman Legacy, according to him. So why the hell haven't we got any real details about this said movie if he was hired 6 months ago? Gunn reveals that he was asked to write the Superman reboot 3 months before Cavill appeared in Black Adam, and even before the cameo was shot in September. So everybody coming to James Gunn's defense saying, it's not James Gunn's fault. It's not James Gunn's fault. It isn't James Gunn's fault. You're right. It isn't, but he is part of the problem. And I understand this is most likely due to a non-disclosure agreement. But if that's the case, why does he open his mouth now and be like, yeah, Man of Steel 2 was completely separate to Superman Legacy, Warner Bros. Discovery? I guess it would it have been Warner Bros. At the time? I don't know, because 6 months ago, I guess we're talking before September. It still would have been Warner Bros. Discovery. So the studio, Warner Bros. Discovery, always had Superman Legacy in their mind. And this was nothing to do with Man of Steel 2. So when outlets and publications were saying, Man of Steel 2 has been confirmed, was it really confirmed? Now I can see, as I'm reading here from Superman on the Film on Twitter, he's trying to do damage control more like an interim regime. The post-Hamada pre-Gunn duo of Pam Abdu and Michael DeLuca, the only possible thing I can imagine is they were really flooded by one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson, campaign hard for Cavill, and they wanted to appease him. I don't really think Dwayne Johnson is a massive star because his box office numbers don't really say I am a big Hollywood star. If The Rock was that big, his movie Black Adam would have done at least $700 to $800 million at the box office. If people have got no confidence in the box office, Avatar 2 literally did $2 billion plus. No confidence. That had no hype, no cameos, nothing. Make a good movie and people will want to go watch it, period. So I don't know what fence to sit on here, but this channel has covered a lot of DC stuff over the last few years, before the Snyder Cut was even a thing. I do find it really hard to believe that James Gunn wasn't involved, because he kind of was. He knew that he was writing Superman Legacy, sure, NDA, but why the hell hasn't he even finished? He's had over 6 months to do the script. Yeah, but writing a script takes years. Does it though? We know he's had to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in between, sure, but this is a really weird one. Gunn was hired to write Superman prior to taking over as the CEO of DC Studios. Secretly, no scooper, no trade got hold of this information. Warner Bros. Discovery wasn't actually ever bringing Henry Cavill back on this prerequisite. So it was due to The Rock going over Hamada's head to Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca to get Henry Cavill to be in Black Adam. Now the plot hole. There's a freaking plot hole here. So they paid Cavill $250,000 to be in Black Adam, $250,000 for the Speed Force. Oh, that's where you've been Superman seen in the Flash movie that may never see the light of day. Why would you do this? So a studio that started in debt at $50 billion, why would you spend $500,000 on Henry Cavill to appease the fans, to bait the fans into thinking Henry come out? So if Henry Cavill wasn't going to be in Black Adam would have done much, much lower numbers than what it actually did. It's really hard to believe the studio, because you've got James Gunn replying to fans, being really transparent, and people, yeah, but Kevin Feige doesn't do this. Because no studio head should behave like this. Keep coming out saying things. Actually, yeah, I've been working on Superman Legacy since before Black Adam. And that, is he really trying to annoy the audience? Is he really trying to annoy some of the fans? It just doesn't feel right. So James Gunn knew he was writing a movie. He knew about this before Superman came in for the Black Adam cameo, and he said, that was before my time, but you knew about it. Yeah, sure, bro. You'll be under an NDA, but you knew about it. Can we trust these studio heads? No, you can't trust anyone in Hollywood, especially Hollywood studios, So this makes it even more convoluted. And you want the audience to believe you don't have your Superman already signed and sealed when you've been working on the script for 6 months. There is some nonsense. There's some misleading information going on here for sure. Oh, but you're just a Henry Cavill Superman fan. Okay, I do like Henry Cavill's version of Superman, but you knew about this and you said, yeah, the studio dicked Henry Cavill, but you are the studio. You weren't the studio at the time, but You knew this. Sure, it's not your problem, but why did you come out and say this? I think it's safe to say James Gunn never wanted Henry Cavill as Superman. It was never in his plan, and DeLuca and Avdi approved it with the intention to help the box office. They thought they were doing what was best for Warner Bros. Discovery. Well said, the Nicotina show. So it's safe to say, even though Warner Bros. Discovery paid Henry Cavill $500,000, they had no intention of bringing him back, which is so convoluted, because on this prerequisite, you've had over 6 months now to get your new Superman, who now apparently isn't going to be 25 either. He's going to be whatever age he needs to be. He's just not going to be 40. So basically, when you came out and said this, you just don't want Henry Cavill to be Superman. It's that clean. It's that clear. Superman's age isn't even important. I get it. Henry Cavill is turning 40 next year. But what are you going to do? Bring in a 35 to 40-year-old Superman? Oh, yeah, Superman's going to be a little bit younger than Batman. I tell you what, at this rate, I could actually see Michael Keaton becoming the full-time Batman again, because there is just no transparency with the studio head and the audience and the fans, and there doesn't really need to be. But if you want to be that guy that keeps responding to tweets, be transparent, be truthful. Why didn't you say this months ago? Because you were on an NDA. But all of a sudden now, you want to try and become transparent. All you're doing is annoying people even more. That's all you're doing. Also in the news, Zachary Levi responds to concerns he won't be Shazam in the DC reboot. I hate to tell you this. I really love Shazam 1, and I'm really looking forward to Shazam 2. In the grand scheme of things, Shazam is a irrelevant character. Damn, and I said it. Gunn and Safran have a plan and a future for Shazam. So what it comes down to is apparently Zachary Levi is best friends with Pete Safran and best friends with James Gunn, so his job's safe. But he's doing PR here. There's definitely little ideas that have been brought up pertaining to where his character could go next. Sure, he's going to sit down with James and Peter soon. The success of the second movie will determine a lot. Yeah, because if the movie loses money, they can't justify it to the shareholders and to their bosses, because James Gunn and Pete Safran, sure, are head of DC Studios, but David Zaslav can overturn anything he wants to. According to the actor, there are all matter of different things that can be done. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what we can do to keep them making good material. That includes Shazam. Yeah, I really did like the first Shazam movie. I really did. So yeah, if Shazam 2 does well, he sticks around. If it doesn't, he probably still sticks around, because when you're busy friends with the head of the studio, does it matter if your movie loses money? We don't know. Shazam doesn't really have a big budget. So yeah, realistically, if it turns $400 to $500 million, yeah, I'm sure they're greenlight the third one. But it's going to be really interesting, because as I said, Shazam's not really an important or indicative character for DC. Oh my God, you don't know about comics. Oh my God. Yeah, I get it. But we all wanted the Henry Cavill Superman, Zachary Levi Shazam, and Dwayne Johnson Black Adam, big fight together. We all wanted that movie, but it's never, ever gonna happen. So it's kind of irrelevant. I say recast everyone. Recast everyone. So Shazam comes out next month in March the 17th. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on Twitter at WarstuG. And like always, let us know all your feedback down below. What do you think about Aquaman 2 sucking? People walking out a test screener. Do you care for it? Because it doesn't really connect to anything, and the changes that were made in the most recent cut don't really connect to the DCEU, so it's definitely a DCEU movie. Do you want Batman in it? Do you think it's complete nonsense that James Gunn's been writing Superman Legacy for over 6 months and he's still not done? But he's been working on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I get that, but that's pretty much done with. That's coming out soon as well, so you can't keep saying that. How long does it take to write a freaking movie? 6 months or a year. But he should be pretty much there now. Should be pretty much there. So like always, guys, I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.